has the author of novel, Mysterious. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We'll talk about today effective strategies of using videos in English in the English language classroom. But before we start, I'm going to show you a video to see the effect of videos on students and what can we get from this video. How can students improve by showing this video?
Paul was standing on a 100-foot-high ladder. He was planning to paint one of the walls of his house yellow. Unfortunately, it had rained several hours earlier, which is why he slipped from the ladder and fell to the ground. This may seem surprising, but he didn't die or suffer an injury. How did he manage to survive? The ladder was too high for an ordinary person to fall off without getting hurt. Could Paul levitate? What are your thoughts?
All right, so what do you think? How did the boy survive?
Maybe he was inside.
He was inside.
Maybe.
Inside. He was on the ladder. He was on the ladder.
Fell on a mattress.
He fell from the ladder.
I know, on the mattress, on the ground, or in the bushes.
There was a mattress.
Or bushes.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Please repeat that because I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
His friends caught him.
Good. Many ideas.
Curie. Paul was standing on a 100-foot-high ladder. He was planning to paint one of the walls of his house yellow. Unfortunately, it had rained several hours earlier, which is why he slipped from the ladder and fell to the ground. This may seem surprising, but he didn't die or suffer an injury. How did he manage to survive? The ladder was too high for an ordinary person to fall off without getting hurt. Could Paul levitate? What are your thoughts?
Maybe he grabbed the ladder while he was falling, like making his fall lesser, of less impact.
Okay.
It was a
Could be, maybe.
It was a trampoline.
Yeah.
That's good.
The rectangle.
Maybe he was at the bottom of the ladder.
Area.
He wasn't on the top.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Very good. So.
The reason for this miraculous survival was the fact that Paul was standing on the bottom rung of the ladder.
Very good. All right, so as you can see, these videos boost students' ability to think and think critically. All right, this is just one example. Of course, you can find on YouTube so many videos that work, and according to what you're teaching. Could be science, could be math, could be anything. Okay. All right. So, are you using videos in class? Anyone uses videos to teach a certain lesson? Okay. Okay. What are the things that you think we should take into consideration when we're giving a video or showing a video to students?
Vocabulary, are they aware of it?
Like
Like levitation, how many students would know levitation?
exactly. Very good. So, like background information, giving background information before you show it. Yes.
Culturally appropriate.
Very good. Choosing the right material, choosing the right educational videos for students.
The length of it, you don't want it too long, that they can't, it's too much for them.
Exactly. Also the language. Maybe you get bored.
How
So,
fast they speak also.
Easy to understand.
Yeah.
Easy to understand.
according to the level. Very good.
Something relevant to the lesson that we're teaching.
Exactly.
I want to show them something.
Yes, you can't show them something that is difficult for the level. They will never do properly. Okay. So why do you think students enjoy it when they're watching a video in class?
Visual learning is more easier for, you can remember what you have seen instead of when you're reading something or video stays in your mind.
Exactly.
That's what I enjoy.
Yes.
Actually, it's the same thing, because it depends on the kind of students that you have in your class. Some of them are more visual than other things, so
Yeah.
I'm one of them actually.
Very good. And you have to see something
Yeah.
to learn. Very good. And especially because now everything is technology, so
Yeah.
students, they need something to motivate them. All right. Of course, some teachers feel that watching a video is entertaining rather than educational, but in my opinion, we should use more videos these days so that we can take advantage of these videos and exploit them to the maximum so we can teach a lesson and students at the same time they have fun. All right. All right, how can we turn now a video into a great lesson? Video, like any stimulus you bring into the classroom, needs a teacher's expert touch to turn it into a great lesson. So it's not just about showing them a video, just watch the video and that's it. No, there should be something, there should be objectives. You should give them a task to do, all right, before and even after the video. I'll show you now some even follow-up activities that they can do after watching it. All right, the first thing to do is to define the content scope. And as she was saying, excuse me, what's your name?
Me, Virginia.
Virginia, as Virginia was saying, that the length of videos is very important. You have to know the scope of your topic. Like, for example, you have to define and provide students with something relevant, connected to the content, and also define the length of this video. And it should match what you want them to learn or to understand. So, the success of your lesson depends on the alignment of the instructional content to the learning objectives and outcomes as well. So, if you're teaching or you're showing a video, you should align it with your objectives. The objectives should be very clear. All right, so here we have, when you're using when you're showing a video and you're assigning your objectives, you have to use Bloom's revised taxonomy to define your objectives, okay? So you have here, for example, describe, they should know what to do. You have to be very clear and very specific about what they have to do. Discuss, explain, predict, identify, all right? All right, here, for example, you have, this is one way to do it. First of all, you have the content, which is what you want to teach. And then the learning objective using, as I said, like Bloom's taxonomy. And then the tasks that you're going to do or the activities that you're going to do, problem solving, fill in the blanks or whatever. All right? So before they watch a video, they should know what they're going to do. So you have to give them a task. Okay? They should not be active viewers, just watching, but they have to be reactive viewers. They should have there should be a question before watching. Okay, for example, this activity, we have order of events. You have, students have to put events in order. All right? I will show you now a video and where we're going to work on it. And then, this is called, it's a video about the luckiest unlucky man to ever live. How can someone be lucky and unlucky at the same time?
Has an accident, but he doesn't die.
Exactly, very good. Can you give me another example? How can someone be lucky and unlucky at the same time?
He won 9 million dinars in the lottery and then lost his ticket.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So she said in a coffee. Okay, I'm going to show you this video about really interesting when I saw it, and it's funny. And of course, this is have to do. Assign the task. Tell them what to do. So you're gonna watch and order the events and match the event with the reason. The reason why Frank didn't die at every accident. Okay? You have paper?
Meet Frank Selak, an elderly music teacher from Croatia, and depending on how you look at it, either the world's unluckiest or the world's luckiest person to ever live. His unbelievable yet true story begins on a cold winter's day in 1962. Traveling from Sarajevo to Dubrovnik, a fall with the line caused his train to jump the track and plunge into the freezing river below. While other passengers were killed in the crash or drowned in the sinking wreckage, suffering a broken arm, Frank managed to escape and swim to shore. Little did Frank know at the time, but this incident marked the beginning of a series of bizarre events that would occur over the next 40 years of his life. The following year, while traveling aboard a small plane bound for Rijeka, disaster struck for a second time. Mid-flight, both engines stopped working, cabin pressure dropped, and the plane began losing altitude. You might have thought that this was probably the worst thing that could have happened, but you'd be wrong. While the plane plummeted towards the ground, a malfunctioning door blew off, and poor Frank was sucked out of the aircraft. Tumbling through the air without a parachute, Frank must have thought he was a goner. But while the plane crashed into the side of the hill, killing all 19 on board, Frank somehow managed to land in a haystack and survived with only minor injuries. Another 2 years went by before Frank's next brush with death. This time, while traveling by bus, ice on the road caused the wheels to lock up, and the vehicle skidded through the safety guard and into the valley below. 4 passengers were killed, but not Frank. Tired, or perhaps terrified of public transport, Frank began to travel mostly by car. But that didn't seem to help either. In 1970, his car engine burst into flames, but Frank was able to jump free before it exploded. Then, 3 years later, in 1973, the fuel pump in his new car ruptured, causing another engine fire. But this time, the flames were blowing straight at him through the air vents. Needless to say, he survived this too, albeit with less hair than he began with. In 1995, he survived being hit by a bus. However, there is one last twist to this man's incredible story. In 2003, at the age of 72, Frank bought a lottery ticket, his first one in over 40 years. He won the jackpot, safely securing his place as the luckiest unlucky person to ever live.
Is this supposed to be true?
All right. Yes.
I love it. But you would have to show this a couple times to the students.
Excuse me?
You would have to show this video a couple times. to the
Yeah, so
students.
they, yeah, because first of all, they order the events, and then they can match the.
Yeah. It was pretty fast for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, what do you think, what are the activities that you think we can do after this video? Follow up. So the first one could be order the events, and then what do you think we could do with this material?
Perhaps just repeat how many events were there, or like how many events we survived by just without any single injury. There are some that we just survived without mentioning that there was a tiniest injury or something, but there are some that it does mention we lost hair or something. So we can, interact with them in that way.
Yeah, so discussions, we can say that.
Or even you can ask them questions like, which event would be the most terrifying incident? Have you ever had an incident like this, or known somebody?
Relating into their own experiences as well? Yeah.
You can revise past simple.
Very good grammar, very good. Anything else? What do you think? Okay, I'm gonna show you here first.
Because of this,
Yeah, very good. Here, so after this activity, what is the immediate action that you have to do after, right after? Let's say they do this. What do we do right after?
Go over the answers.
Exactly. So we should provide the answers right away. So feedback is very important, so the students, they know did they do it right or wrong. All right, anyone got it right? All right.
I'd have to say it 2 or 3 times. And I'm working to maybe one.
Or at least the order, or at least the order.
I got it right.
Right, all right?
Very good.
Okay, so here are some follow-up activities that we can do with this video. Of course, order that retell the story. They can retell the story. There could be also, you could do a debate. All right, is it better to be lucky than to be smart, for example? You can, there are so many things that you can do with the word lucky and ask questions about it. They can write an opinion essay also. They can write a personal narrative of a time when they were lucky, for example. Research about lucky charms around the world. Research about the person who became famous because of good luck. Also we have. So you can use your imagination, expand, you know, or try to find so many ways to use these videos for the objectives that you want to achieve. All right, so we have a video, as I said, is a great source of information. They can do researches. We have here, in many cases, we can completely ignore the video portion of a video and still be left, the audio portion of it, and still be left with a great source of visual information. So here, there's another way of doing it, which is you can just omit the sound. So you just show them the video without a sound, all right? So what do you think if we're showing a video without a sound? What are the objectives or what are the advantages of this?
You could be creative and write your own story.
For example?
Integrating the video in their own way.
Doing it their own way, writing their own ideas, right? Okay, so the next exercise will be about, I chose, I think everyone knows Friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna watch this, but without a sound. Here, what you're gonna do is, you're going to write the dialogue. So Ross is talking to Chandler and to Joey, and Monica's there as well. So you can write the names and write what you think they're saying. Okay? So you're gonna create the dialogue.
But you could always have the students give the names to the characters as well.
Exactly. You can give names to the characters, and then they can use all of this and make their own story as well.
Can we turn the lights off a little? You can't see it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to...
Up there, the recording. So let's see if it's clear. All right, ready?
No, who can't see it?
Let's try.
Okay.